1978, doll maker Thomas Hollow was arrested in Ohio for arson. He'd burned his own workshop with his daughter inside. He told police she was sick, that he was saving her. He carved a new body for her out of porcelain, pine, and hair. He named it Mary. The court sent him to a psychiatric hospital. The doll went to evidence. It disappeared in 1983. Since then, 11 families have reported finding a blue dress doll on their porch. Since then, 9 of those families have filed police reports for home invasion, animal attacks, or unexplained injuries. The other 2 never filed anything again. Thomas Hollow was released last spring. He is 73 now. He is hunting Mary. He says she remembers what he did, and she is angry at anyone who tries to be her family. The Reyes family moved into a rental on the edge of Briar Hollow in February. Elena Reyes, a nurse. Her husband Jonah, a truck driver. Their son Milo, 8, nonverbal, autistic, obsessed with patterns. They found Mary in a moving box left in the attic. Porcelain, 14 inches, blue dress, 1 cracked eye, stitched mouth. Milo immediately carried her everywhere. He lined up her limbs the same way each night. Left arm, right arm, leg straight. The first attack was small. Copper pipes burst at 3:13 a.m. Jonah. Slipped on the kitchen tile and broke 2 ribs. Elena found tiny porcelain fingerprints in the wet drywall. The second night, the dog, Bix, was found in the yard with deep scratches on his muzzle. Not bites. 5 parallel lines, too thin for an animal. Elena set up a baby monitor in Milo's room. At 3:13 a.m., the audio spiked. No crying, just dragging.
Mary walks when you sleep.
Buddy, dolls don't walk.
She doesn't like dads. She says you're loud.
Jonah laughed. Elena didn't. She worked nights at the county hospital. She knew Thomas Hollow. He'd been admitted for a fall 3 weeks prior. He kept asking the night staff if they'd seen a girl in blue. He drew her over and over. Same cracked eye. Elena pulled his chart. Diagnosis: late-stage dementia with fixated delusions. Notes: patient claims daughter is trapped in object. Object is hunting families to find him. She went home and put Mary in a trash bag in the garage. That night Milo screamed for the first time in 3 years. Not a tantrum scream. A terror scream. The garage light was on. The bag was empty. Mary sat on Milo's chest, both porcelain hands pressed to his throat. Not squeezing. Holding. Measuring. Jonah ripped her off and threw her against the wall. Her head cracked further. A thin black liquid seeped from the seam in her neck. It smelled like burnt pine.
That's it, we burn it.
We can't.
No. She's scared. The old man is close.
What old man, baby?
The one who made her hurt.
Thomas Hollow showed up at 6 a.m. with a toolbox. He didn't knock. He stood in the driveway staring at the front window where Mary Saturday. Elena called the police. While they were on the way, Thomas spoke to Jonah through the screen door. His voice was calm, practiced.
You have my daughter. Sir, you need to leave. She attacks because she thinks you'll keep her. She kills the fathers first, loud ones, then the mothers who don't listen.
The police took Thomas away for trespassing. He left the toolbox. Inside, salt, iron nails, a small bone saw, and a folded page from a 1978 journal. Elena read it later. I gave her a heart of pine sap so she would stay warm. I gave her eyes of my wife's glass so she would watch. I gave her my daughter's hair so she would remember. I did not give her a way to die. That night, Mary attacked in earnest. At 3:13, every door in the house slammed shut. The lights blew. Milo's monitor showed Mary standing on the dresser, head tilted 90 degrees. Then she jumped. Not fell. Jumped. She landed on Jonah's back as he ran upstairs. Porcelain fingers dug into his shoulders. 5 lines, then 5 more. He screamed and hit the wall. Elena grabbed a fireplace poker and swung. She connected with Mary's torso. The doll shattered at the waist, black sap spilling out, and let out a sound that wasn't a child, wasn't an adult. It was wood splitting in a fire. Milo picked up the top half and held it.
Stop hurting her. She's just lost. Milo, put it down.
Elena went up with a flashlight. In the insulation were 6 more dolls. All blue dresses. All cracked. all with different hair colors. Thomas hadn't made one daughter. He'd made a litter, in case the first one failed. They brought Thomas back the next morning. Not with police. With a deal. Elena told him, "Help us end this, and we won't press charges." He opened his toolbox on the kitchen table. He looked at Mary, now taped together by Milo. His plan was simple and awful. At 3:13 a.m., the time of the original fire, they would sit in a circle. Thomas would hold Mary. Milo would hold Thomas's hand. Because Mary trusted quiet children. Elena and Jonah would drive iron nails through the doll's pine heart, pinning it to the floorboards of the house. Not to destroy her. To anchor her. A hunted thing stops running when it finally catches what it's chasing. At 3:10, they started. Thomas cradled Mary and sang a lullaby in German, his wife's language. Mary vibrated. The black sap boiled. The other 6 dolls in the attic began to thump against the ceiling. At 3:13, Mary moved. Fast. She turned in Thomas's arms and drove her porcelain teeth. Yes, teeth he'd carved, into his throat. Jonah shouted. Elena drove the first nail. It went through Mary's back and into the floor with a shriek of wood. Mary let go. She looked at Milo. Her cracked eye reflected him perfectly. Elena drove the second nail. Then the third. Mary didn't fight. The black sap stopped flowing. Her head lolled forward onto Thomas's chest. He died 3 minutes later, holding her. The police called it a tragic accident with an antique. The coroner noted unusual lacerations but closed the file. The Reyes family did not move. They sealed the attic with the 6 other dolls inside. They nailed Mary to the floor under the living room rug, right where the sun hits in the morning. Milo sits with her every day after school. He reads to her. She does not walk anymore. Families still find dolls on porches in 3 counties. Not Mary. Her sisters. Thomas made 7. The hunt continues, because collectors now hunt them for dark web auctions. They call them hollow girls. But on Miller Street, the Reyes house is quiet. Jonah's scars healed into 5 thin white lines. Elena works days now. Milo speaks in full sentences, mostly to Mary. Sometimes at 3:13 a.m., Elena wakes to a soft thump under the rug. Not walking, just a tap, like a child checking that her family is still home. The doll that attacked families finally stopped attacking when a family stopped trying to own her and started trying to guard her. She was hunted for 40 years. Now she's home, and as long as someone sits with her, she remembers that not all love ends in fire.